Hi, and welcome to my channel where I love to do all types of DIYs, everything from home updating projects to budget-friendly DIY home decor. If these are things you're interested in, then I hope you will consider hitting that subscribe button and become part of my DIY family.
Okay, I've just got some Dollar Tree pumpkins. They have been painted in the past, but I'm going to go ahead and repaint them today for the tier tray. I do have one of the larger styrofoam pumpkins. I believe these came on clips. This came in a bag or on a stick. I can't remember. And then this was just individual. And this one was on a clip, and I'm going to repaint that as well. That was what colors I used last year. Okay, I've just got Pumpkin by Waverly. I'm going to go ahead and use Vintage Linen from DIY. And then, of course, Moss from Waverly. If you guys hear any noise in the background, it is Hetty trying to get the cat's attention. Once again, this happens every time I try to film. And the reason I'm repainting these is I think I had added some brown to this color. I just want a little more orangey, and I'm not going to bore you guys through this, so I'll just skip on through and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Anyway, got these painted, so they're ready to be put into the tier tray. I'm just going to set those aside. All right, next I have got these 3 1x blocks. They measure 3 by 4 by 3/4. And I want to go ahead and paint these. I am not going to paint there or there or there or there. So I'm just putting little X's just so I know I don't have to paint there. On this, I am going to use vintage. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and use Vintage Linen from DIY. And we are just going to paint everywhere that doesn't have an X. And we'll be right back. All right, got those all painted up. I did on the middle, I came in a little bit, so when I stack these on top of one another, you cannot see any wood in here. So I did go ahead and bring that paint in, but I didn't go in the middle.
I'm just going to take some wood glue, and this is the Gorilla wood glue, and I'm just going to put that on the spots where the wood is exposed. And then I'm going to take some hot glue and just kind of put that around. And the hot glue is just for the temporary hold while the wood glue is drying. Then there were some spots where the paint had kind of clumped up when it dried that I was not a fan of. So I'm just going to take a 400 grit sandpaper and just smooth that out. And always just make sure we wipe away that dust. And I picked up this ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just putting it around our little wood book stack just to get an idea of how much space I'm going to have. And I am also going to remove the wire that's in the ribbon. Now that I have that ribbon, it's not glued or anything. I just have it in place, like I said, to see how much space I have. I've got the Apothecary stamps from IOD, and I did pick these up at unicorndustdesigns.com, and I am just going to spell out some small words since I don't have a whole lot of space there. And I'm just going to first start by lining up the letters, and of course you only have one letter of each, so you know, I've just got to work with that. And right here I've just got one of those cutting boards, clear cutting boards, flexible cutting boards from the Dollar Tree. They come in a 2-pack, and I'm just going to use that as my backing to help keep the letters straight. I'm going to trim it down, and then once I have those letters straight, I am going to just take some black ink from IOD, wipe off any excess that I get on my little carrier sheet, because I don't want that ink to transfer to my piece. Then I'm just going to place that where I want it and gently press down with my finger. Then I'm just going to take that L that I used once again, and I am going to go ahead and stamp it up and apply it as well. And unfortunately, it doesn't come out very straight, but that's okay. Gives it character. And then I've just got to proceed on with the rest of the letters, and I'm going to do the same process, and we'll just go ahead and skip ahead. And then I'm just going to take a piece of lightweight sandpaper and I'm just going to sand over those letters, make it look a little bit more rustic.
I'm going to seal that. And I am just going to use my Top Coat Clear Finishing Wax. This is from Jolie, and I'm using it until I get rid of it. Waste not, want not. I'm just going to take a towel, just kind of buff that in, get off this piece of hair that I have in there. Okay, I don't like how this doesn't look like I've got pages. So I'm going to make some little lines with a pencil.
Even though this part is really unnecessary for the final look that I came up with, I just wanted to keep it in here to show you that sometimes you can pick up transfers from the Dollar Tree that are really gorgeous. I had found these pumpkins and they've got the green and the oranges. I found them a couple years ago. I want to say I saw them last year, but at this time I decided that that top was looking a little plain, so I'm just going to rub on transfer out of that sheet, which I'm almost out of because yeah, I really like it. So it's pretty much almost gone, but I'm just going to rub that on there and it makes a very beautiful addition to just a little piece of decor. So that's always an option. If I know that the IOD products are a little pricey, they're definitely worth it when you get your hands on them, but you can find some really pretty smaller transfers at the Dollar Tree. And then I did go ahead and seal that transfer in with that clear coat. And here is what it looks like at this first time that I did it with that ribbon. Okay, so before I set that aside, I decided I don't like that ribbon on there. I just thought it looked too blah. I don't know. If you like it, then keep it that way. But I'm going to go ahead and take me a longer piece of that same ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and take out the wire pieces, and then I am just going to tie this around that book stack, giving it a little bow. And then I think it looks perfect. What do you guys think? Which way did you prefer? Let me know in the comments down below.
All right, I think that looks better. Yeah, it covers up the little transfer. You could always glue it like this piece over here. Just kind of tack it down, but I think that looks better. Just gives it something a little extra. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. And the next thing is I've got one of these little mini terracotta planners, and I'm just gonna paint that in a gray color, a dark gray, and I'm using Elephant by Waverly.
After I get a coat of gray on that terracotta pot, I'm gonna take the color Plaster and I am going to do a thick dry brush over this pot. And I do go a little bit on the inside. I just want it to look all cohesive. And after I got it dried down, I don't know, there was just something not right about it. So I decided to just kind of take more of the gray paint and kind of brush over the white I did. Any spots that look too thick or too streaky, just trying to smooth it out. So I'll go between the Plaster and the Elephant color and just make it look like I want it to look. Then I'm just going to take some little scraps of floral foam, and I picked this up from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to shove pieces in there, and I end up not having to use any hot glue because it fit in there nice and tightly. Okay, I've got these pumpkins that came in a long stem from Hobby Lobby, and then I've got this greenery, it's tea leaves, and I picked these up from Michael's. And I am once again going to work on my floral or plant arrangements. Like I've said before, florals plants. They're not my thing, but I am really working on trying to make them look pretty. So you guys have to let me know, how did I do on this one? I think it turned out really cute for a mini little planter. I have to give myself a pat on the back. But like I said, I am just going with the flow. I try to look and read people's tips and tricks for putting plants together, and yeah. But these little spirals came off that pumpkin pick, and I'm just going to put those in there. And then I'm just going to take some Spanish moss and I'm gonna put it in that planter, just covering up all that foam.
All right, and there we got this cute little pumpkin plant. Set that aside. All right, this next one's simple. I got this off of Whatnot. I bought it from Unicorn Dust Designs, and it has some bees in it. I think this frame is very pretty, and I'm just going to change out the picture. This picture I downloaded from Creative Fabrica. I will put a link to this exact image in my description box below under affiliate links. Now we got a pretty picture to put in our tier tray. So we will set that aside. Okay, I want to make some beads. I've picked this up from the Dollar Tree. I do have beads that I also got from Amazon, but I figured since I had these, might as well. It's already got this little loopy on top, so that'll make my life a little bit easier. I think I'm gonna want that long, but I want more of this string. I'm using the wrong scissors. Those are my paper scissors.
You guys let me know if you've got separate scissors for different items. I have paper scissors, any kind of scissors, and fabric scissors.
I've got 49 beads. And you can probably guess what colors we're going to do, but we're going to do moss, pumpkin, and maybe vintage linen. I always grab some styrofoam and some skewer sticks. I'm not going to show you guys me painting these beads, so I'm going to figure out how I'm going to paint them, and then I will go over that with you here in just a minute. All right, got all the beads painted, and what I did, since we have a total of 49 beads, I went ahead and painted 12 in moss, 12 in pumpkin, 12 in vintage linen, and 13 natural. And it's an odd number, so I got one extra, and just depending on how they go on there, I may end up having to paint the one natural one in a different color. But I've got those done. So I'm just going to do every other.
Just going to start by putting some painter's tape on the end of this string. It just makes beading so much easier. And then I'm going to go green, pumpkin, vintage, natural, and then I'm just going to repeat that all the way down. And then that extra bead, I am going to paint it in that moss color. Now I'm just going to take some 1-ply jute string, wrap it around a block about 20 times. And then we're going to go ahead and slide that off the block. And then I want to add some lace to it. And this is that lace crochet ribbon that you can find at the Dollar Tree. They've also got some ribbon rolls with the same, it's pretty much the same. This might be just a hair thicker, if any, but since I've got this, I'm going to use this, but I just want to add that on there, and I'm just going to, with a piece of jute string, tie that on so it kind of laps on the side, or drapes on the sides. I wish I would have also done one more piece to drape across. It would have looked prettier in the end, in my opinion, but that's how I did it. Okay, so I did remove that string, and I'm going to pretty much do the same process of tying it in the center, but I'm going to use that string, that excess string, on my beads. Next, I'm just going to take an extra piece of string, and I'm going to tie it and wrap it around the top of my tassel, and then just tie it off and snip off the excess. And then I've got to work on getting that tassel just a little bit higher up on that string so it's connected to that last bead a little bit better. So I just tie it closer, and it just takes a little bit of wiggling that tassel up to the top while you are pulling on that string and tying it. And then I just tie it in a knot, and I take the end of that piece and push it through that bottom bead and then snip off the excess. That way you can't even see that string. And then finally we can just trim off the excess on the bottom, making it look all nice and pretty and even. And then I'm just going to use a lighter to burn off some of that excess hair that this twine from the Dollar Tree has. If you do this, be extra careful. I definitely recommend you have some water nearby just in case. You never know. Or if you like that, just leave it as it is. And then I've got to just make a few more little trims here and there. I do go ahead and burn a little on the end of that lace just so it doesn't unravel.
All right, very pretty tassel. So we've got our little beads, and now it is time to put this baby together.
And I did go ahead and put some elephant ear in the tiered tray just to fill up space. And then I had this little fake tin milking can that I put in there as well. And I also had a little creamer that I put in there, just a little faux rustic creamer I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And I just want to thank everybody for watching, and don't forget, let me know what you think about this tiered tray down in the comments below.